Thank you, students. Today we discuss about cubical expansion of solid. First of all, what is cubical expansion? Cubical means the volume. That means volume expansion of solid. When solid is heated, its volume increases. It is known as the cubical expansion. The increase in volume of a solid on heating is known as cubical expansion. Let V1 is the initial volume at temperature T1 and V2 is the final volume at temperature T2. So the volume expansion will be V2 minus V1 and increased temperature is T2 minus T1. Now this volume expansion, that means V2 minus V1, depends on three factors. One is the original volume of the solid, that is the V1. So V2 minus V1, that means cubical expansion, is directly proportional to its original volume. Also, this cubical expansion V2 minus V1 is directly proportional to the change in temperature, that means T2 minus T1. Initial temperature will be subtracted from the final temperature. And also the cubical expansion depends on the substance, nature of the substance. Now if you join these two relations, that means V2 minus V1 directly proportional to V1 and V2 minus V1 is directly proportional to T2 minus T1. Then what happens? Then we get V2 minus V1 in both relation is proportional to V1 into T2 minus T1. Now remove this proportion sign. Then you get a equal and constant. So V2 minus V1 is equal to gamma V1 into T2 minus T1. What is gamma? Gamma is known as coefficient of cubical expansion. Now find the expression for gamma. To get the expression for gamma, side change V1 and T2 minus T1. Then what you get? Gamma is equal to V2 minus V1 divided by V1 into T2 minus T1. The value of gamma does not depend on the volume expansion. That means unit of volume. That means why? Because in numerator there is a unit of volume and at the denominator there is also a volume, so the unit of volume will be cancelled. And T2 minus T1, this is the temperature and it remains at denominator and it is the value of gamma depends on the unit of temperature. Now first of all, how you define gamma? If put V1 minus, put V1 is equal to 1, that means for unit volume, and put T2 minus T1 is equal to 1, that means increase of temperature is unit, then the expansion of volume is the coefficient of the volume expansion. Coefficient of cubical expansion or volume expansion is defined as the increase of volume per unit original volume per unit rise in temperature. As stated below, previously, the gamma depends on the unit of temperature. So the unit of gamma will be per Kelvin or per degree centigrade or per degree Fahrenheit. From the previous explanation, we get the three types of expansion. One is the linear expansion, another is the superficial expansion, and another is the cubical expansion for the solid. And for those expansion, we get the relative coefficient of those expansion. That means alpha, coefficient of a linear expansion, beta is the coefficient of the superficial expansion, and gamma today we read it is the coefficient of the cubical expansion. Now what is the relation between them? The relation between them is alpha is to beta is to gamma is equal to 1 is to 2 is to 3, or the alpha is equal to beta by 2 is equal to gamma by 3. This is the relation between alpha, beta and gamma for the solid. Thank you.